Gentlemen, the time has come once again to discuss things.
Yes, and sometimes dumb things are good. Anyway, hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Geeky Gentlemen. I'm Sid Part 2, joining me today is...
Hey, I'm that Matt kid.
Hey, I'm that Steve.
Yeah.
That Steve kid. Ugh, gross.
Any kids anymore?
Yeah.
Any kids anymore?
No, Matt's like older than you. He's gonna fucking have to change his username to that Matt guy or that Matt man at some point.
That mad adult.
That Matt adult.
We
All awful, but thank you for the suggestions. Oh, God.
What is a worse username than that Matt adult?
I think that Matt man is somehow worse. It makes me feel gross when I say it.
Oh, that Matt man. Ugh.
Your name is very unfortunate in our modern context because just like Chad and Karen and Susan have been taken over by memes, there's like an influx of memes where it's like every woman has known a Matt that has ruined their life.
Oh no.
That was literally the inspiration for Scott Pilgrim, is that Brian Lee O'Malley's girlfriend had dated 2 or 3 other guys named Matt before him. That's literally, it's a cursed name, I get it.
Okay, anyway. So speaking of cursed things, Matt picked our review topic this week, and Alfie, like the coward we all know that he is, refused to sit down and watch it and join the show. So, Matt, what is Alfie too cowardly to have watched this time?
An excellent point. He is very much a coward, and I will see him in court over this. We are reviewing Aggretsuko, which is it's technically an anime. It is on Netflix, and it is about a red panda named Retsuko, who is a Sanrio character. And if you don't know Sanrio, that's like the collection of characters that includes like Hello Kitty, and Hello Kitty's friends. And so it's about her being in a shitty, boring office job and dealing with it by doing death metal karaoke. So if that premise immediately sounds terrible to you, you might not like it, but it's basically a cute slice of life sitcom anime with a very cartoony art style. And season 4 just came out, and I very much enjoyed it, so I thought it would be fun to go back and review the first season, and I'm very excited to see what you guys think.
This was some of the longest 2 hours of television I've ever watched in my entire life.
This is the greatest thing I have ever seen, and I binged all 4 seasons.
Yes!
Jesus Christ!
This is the exact response I wanted. This is Christmas. This is fucking Christmas.
Yes, I love
God.
episodes where Ian is just wrong.
Yes!
No, it's not that like I didn't think it was bad. It's just like, you know, Haley and I have been rewatching a bunch of Doctor Who recently, and like sometimes I'll watch 2 or 3 episodes of Doctor Who and I'm like, man, they're already over. It's already time for me to go to bed. I can't believe it. It just flew right by. And Matt gave me the breakdown. He's like, yeah, so it's about 2 hours. It's, 10 episodes, 15 minutes a piece, so it shouldn't take too long to get through.
Nope.
And we started watching them after we put Leah down, and like it just, for 2 hours, it just kept going.
It kept happening to you.
Yes, like there's so much. I'm not like, I don't think it's bad. it's a comedy series. It got legitimate laughs out of me. It had interesting, fun things to say. It was a unique perspective. The animation kind of drove me up the fucking wall, like, right away. I was, like, watching it, and there's, like, the first time you meet that hippo girl, and she's, like, floating in the air and shit, and she's got just the most irksome voice in the world. Like, I understand that it's, like, supposed to be kind of annoying, but, like, like, it's too annoying. So I was just sitting there like, oh no, this is gonna be a fucking long one, isn't it? And it sure was.
I'm so happy that I subjected you to this.
Yeah.
I apologize, but it makes me very happy. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I mean, again, I got some laughs out of it here and there. There were some parts that I thought were, like, legitimately funny. I got a little disappointed that she slowly got her life more together as the thing went on, because I thought it was much funnier as she just kept doing things and things kept getting worse and worse for her. I really enjoyed that part of the season. Once things started kind of going her way a little bit, I got kind of meh toward it.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, Steve, what are your general thoughts before I jump in on mine?
I was pleasantly surprised by how much I like this. I feel like it is kind of built to be my thing because it's cute animal people in an office. And
Steve's a furry, confirmed.
And also metal music, and like the intro kind of gives away the gag for the first episode, which is a weird choice in my opinion. Like, I feel like if your first episode's a pilot, you probably shouldn't do that. Like, you should probably wait until the very end when she starts her death metal karaoke, and I was like, oh shit, this is what this show is about. But they didn't do that. That was weird. I was kind of thinking what was going to end up happening is the joke would be funny like once or twice, and then it would get kind of boring and repetitive. And surprisingly, in order to circumvent that problem, they just made her like normal work life and friend life really interesting and fun to watch. So the metal karaoke just became icing on the cake instead of the draw for me. So I really, really liked it. The animation didn't bug me super hard just because like it is in that like Hello Kitty style. So like I wasn't thinking super critically about that.
I wasn't thinking critically about it. I just saw it and was like, I hate this. I hate this style of animation.
The thing that does bug me about it is it's in that modern style of kids or animated shows where everything's like 15 minutes long. And that works sometimes if all of your scripts are like designed to be 15 minutes long. But with this show, it sort of felt like after a certain point, after like 3 or 4 episodes in, the episodes didn't have endings. They just stopped and the next one started. And it got really hard to tell, like, is this the last episode I watched, or is this the new episode I'm on? Like, it felt like as a Netflix original series, you probably should have had more control over, like, making certain episodes longer or shorter, because at a certain point, it just became indiscernible and things just kept going. But I was fine with the story being told, so it didn't bug me super hard. I love Feniko. I think she's fantastic. She's really fucking funny.
Oh, yeah?
She's probably my favorite character. I like the boss a lot too, though. Like, he's just hilarious. But I really like this. I thought this was great. This is definitely tailor-made for me, though.
Yeah, for sure. So, like, Carly and I tried to watch this, like, when it was first coming out, and it just didn't click for us. And then we rewatched it, I want to say, like, a year ago, and just really, really enjoyed it and kind of went through the whole thing. For me, the animation, it is going to be one of those things, you either kind of love it or you hate it. One of the things I like about the animation is that sometimes the over-exaggerated comedic reactions in anime kind of annoy the crap out of me. With this, it works because the whole thing is just a literal cartoon. Like, it's not an anime where suddenly we're now breaking out a cartoon face. It's a cartoon where people make cartoon faces. And so that actually really works for me, and that helps sell me on a lot of the over-the-top comedy and things like that. One thing I like about the show is that it's definitely a comedy, but it touches on these perspectives that I think are really interesting. You know, Retsuko's sort of disillusionment with adult work life and her like first big relationship and the way that we idealize these relationships until eventually we have to realize that, you know, we're not getting anything out of them, and the way that that relationship sort of falls apart. And so like, while I got sucked in by, like, I think Tsunoda is probably my favorite character, the fucking deer who like kisses up to everyone. She's probably my favorite. While I got sucked in by like her and Feneko and a lot of the gags and stuff like that, I end up staying because I find a lot of these characters really, really interesting and really compelling. And this is also a show, I will just go ahead and put this out there, I think this show only gets better as the seasons continue. I think each season gets better and better, especially season 3 is like one of the best seasons. But I did absolutely love this, but I do totally get that it is not going to be for everyone. I think there is I don't know, it's loud, for lack of a better word. It's very in your face. It's very obnoxious in a lot of ways. And if the comedy does not click for you, or if just the vibe doesn't click for you, I could see hating this for sure.
And
but
see,
I'm curious, what about it? Like, what things did you kind of click with, and what things did you not?
I mean, just some of the nihilistic gags. I mean, I've got a pretty fucking dark sense of humor sometimes. So just when things go really shitty, like, okay, when things are starting to go kind of good for her, and the like eagle lady gets the CEO to talk to her boss, and the boss starts acting really nice and everything, and then they're like, or it was actually before that, sorry. It was when she's like, oh, well, I'll just try sucking up to him like the deer girl does, and maybe it'll work out for me. And then she just like says the most innocuous but like clearly wrong thing. That's just like really good situational comedy to me, and I thought that was pretty funny. So I kind of like gags like that, but I don't know. There was just stuff in here that I was like, I guess if you have to. Some other stuff, yeah, just like when things seem to be going kind of right for her, then they suddenly take a wrong turn. Again, the whole boss starts actually acting nice, and they go out drinking, and then she fucking blabs and reveals that she's the reason he got in trouble and yada yada. I like that. But otherwise, I don't know. It's just nothing in it was like really, really uproariously funny. It just kind of got laughs out of me. Kind of the same way that, like, I don't think Family Guy is a great show, but if you just watch like an episode or a clip in isolation, it can be pretty fucking funny. And that's kind of how I felt about like a lot of this, is like the things that made me laugh I don't think were necessarily because they're like brilliant comedy, but because you're doing a fucking 2 hours of a primarily comedy based series. If you don't think of at least one funny thing the entire time, you're really fucking up hard, right? And so I kind of got that vibe from it. It's just the things that made me laugh.
Ian,
I'm sorry, what?
do you like The Office?
No, I hate The Office. It's fucking trash.
Oh my gosh.
That was the case. Because if you don't like The Office, I feel like it makes more sense that you don't like this. But if you do like The Office, it makes a lot of sense if you like this.
Yeah, 100%. I could see that, because that's a pretty good litmus test. Because I quite like The Office.
Exactly, same.
At least the first 4 seasons or so.
From like season 2 to like 5 is really good.
Yeah, I mean, I like season 1, but yeah, for sure. So like, I could definitely see that. Like, if you like The Office, you might enjoy this. But Steve, so you watched all 4 seasons, right? Of this,
Steve. It's like, you know what I need to get? I need to get like a fucking thing of the like, I need to get a cameo of the guy who did the communicator in Metal Gear Solid, and for like every one of us, Alfie. Bump, bump, bump. Ba-da-dum, bump, bump.
That would be amazing. I don't know. I will say that, like, this is a show that handles its ensemble cast, I think, really well, especially when you get into the later seasons. There are characters who, like Kabaya, the hippo, and even to a degree like the boss Tone, who you think are going to be kind of bit parts, but end up getting actual depth and focus. I mean, the entire fourth season is literally just a big story for Haida, the like hyena best friend. So like, it's a show that I think overall uses its ensemble cast very well, at least a lot better than I've seen from a lot of other sitcoms. And I do quite like that about it. Unfortunately, the first season, you don't get a lot of that. You just get kind of the exchange with her boss when she's talking about her relationship and things like that. So I will say, if you watch it and are on kind of the fence, I would maybe give the second season a watch, because for me it just gets better. But yeah, it's really gonna depend on if the humor hits or not for you. Steve, are you back?
I am. Sorry, I was lagging. Did you
Great.
ask me something?
Just talk about it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I agree with you. I think with this kind of show, the ensemble cast sort of has the potential to just kind of be like bit parts, where like one character does this thing and that's their whole thing, and one character does this thing and that's their whole thing. And that's definitely season 1 of this show.
Yeah.
But by the end, and then into seasons 2 and 3, like you said, they get a little bit more functional, a little bit more interesting in that way. But I think what makes the first season work for me, and why I didn't mind it as much, is it felt like Retsuko was reacting to them a lot more intensely, and so you're just kind of with her. Like there's the episode where she's like eating lunch in the archive room and just like has completely like lost faith in this job, and she hates it and she never wants to go back. And then she gets the idea in her head that she just needs to get married. Yeah. And then suddenly that colors her interactions with everyone. So like they all go out to dinner the next episode, and she like develops a relationship with that guy. But then very quickly you realize, oh no, she's drunk. So like I feel like her antics make the bit parts come alive a bit more, because they're all just kind of like ways to incite extreme reactions from her, and I find those entertaining.
What I also feel like it captures really well is when you're stuck in a job you hate that makes your life miserable, you end up like grasping for any possible way out. And like watching her, like with her friend's business, with getting married, like watching her continually grasp at these potential escapes and get very excited, only to have them like crumble in front of her and just go back to her life, like that, I mean, that for me hits in a place really hard. Oh yeah, no, and I love that about it.
No, it 100%. Like that, this is sort of a quintessential young millennial, mid-20s, early 30s kind of thing, because all of us are obsessed with anime. All of us hate our jobs. All of us have like weird shifts in personality from cutesy things to hardcore heavy metal shit. And like this show just captures that weird sort of anxiety and malaise of having to like actually work for the rest of your life, and how shitty working can be, and like all the different weird personality types you interact with. Like I've had a boss like this before. I've seen like these things like in my actual life. So like when she gets like anxious or breaks down or does a breakdown, like it feels like me when I've like had a shitty day at work and then I blast some kind of metal track on my car ride home. Yeah, like it's that feeling as a TV show.
Maybe you have to have had a shitty job and like heavy metal to appreciate the show. I don't know.
But that's the thing, right? Like there's just something about like every day my routine used to be have a shitty day at work and then pop in something like fucking, I don't know, like this isn't heavy metal, but like Bullet for My Valentine or something like that on the radio, and just like scream to the metal song in my car after a shitty day at work. Yeah. This is literally a show about screaming metal songs after shitty days at work. Like, how perfect is that?
Yeah, and there's a pervasive sort of, I don't know, that's very relatable to me as well, because I used to do the exact same thing. And just watching her so desperate to escape while still finding ways to like be it, like realizing that at the end of the day you're never going to be happy if you can't find a way to at least be at peace with where you are, even if you are still like trying to better yourself. And like I don't know, I feel that hits for me really, really well. And that's really what the show kind of ends up being about, is just learning to like be at peace and not being anxious all the time while still like trying to better yourself. And I really like that. I really like that about the show. And I love
that middle line between, you don't have to try and solve all your problems all the time. Sometimes you just need to like get through the day, and that's this show, is just figuring out how to get through the day.
Yep. And I really love. I'm curious. So like, the other kind of big story is that she gets like her first like, I guess, major boyfriend, the Sasuke guy, who looks exactly like her but a guy. And
I love the fucking smolder face. That legit cracked me up. He's got that fucking blue steel Zoolander face.
Yeah, they call him a space cadet because he kind of like spaces out and bumps into walls and stuff. Apparently that's just an insult in Japan, because I heard that in a JRPG I was playing the other day. They called someone a space cadet. I was just like, I've literally never heard this except in Japanese things. But for some reason, just his face cracks my wife Carly up to no end. I don't know why. Every time they cut to him and he's just like blankly staring, she loses it. I have no clue why, but he's interesting because I love the way that she sort of starts to see him as more than he is, and that whole like conversation she has with Tone where, you know, she's putting more effort into that relationship than she's getting out. I think all that's really, really interesting, because like how many people have gone through relationships like that where they're so fucking like rose-colored when they look at the person that they're not seeing the obvious signs of not being happy in the relationship. And I think that's really interesting. It's good. Big fan of that.
I'm glad. Good for you. Yes.
Thoughts?
I don't know, man. Like, this just... I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. That's what my thoughts are on this. I'm glad that clearly some people enjoy or get pleasure out of, like, experiencing just the day-to-day, but again. Is what this felt like to me. Is just like, yeah, no, fucking bosses are bullshit and jobs suck, and it sure would feel great to just scream in your boss's face about how shitty they are. God, so relatable. Like, I don't know, it's too real. I guess I need some escapism in my life. Like, I need the version of this where she just gets to be like actively shitty and doesn't have to like keep it down or something. I don't know. That maybe would have hit better for me. But I don't know, man. It's just like I'm sorry, guys. The cartoon show didn't hit as hard for me as it did for you, clearly.
Totally fair. I mean, it's I can certainly see why it wouldn't hit for them, but I am glad Steve liked it. I'm glad someone liked it.
I had a religious experience with the show, and I really, really like it.
That's so funny.
It's just so good. Like, it's the perfect premise. What premise is better than this?
I'm telling you, it's great. Steve, what did you think of her fucking space cadet boyfriend arc?
It kind of made me sad. Arc. It made me sad because he's clearly just kind of a tool and no one likes him.
Yeah.
But I like him.
I like Sasuke.
This dude is relatable.
Yeah.
I liked him. I thought he was fine. The dialogue between him and her when they first interacted with the text messages and stuff, I had a hard time like taking that super literally, just because when you get the revelation that she's been drunk the whole time, it's almost like she's imagining this relationship in her head entirely, and that's not what was going to happen. And I kind of thought the bit was going to be you get to the next episode and it turns out like he has no idea who the fuck she is and she was just drunk. And that in my head would have been a lot funnier than what we got. But then what we got was a cute relationship, so I'm not super complaining.
Yeah. I do love the fucking, yeah, the like super handsome face that they give him whenever she's looking at him. That bit gets me every time. The bit that loses, that like makes me lose it, is when he like sees her on the train and like pushes through all the passengers to get to her, asks her out, and then rather than staying with her, he then pushes through all the passengers to get back to his spot. Oh, good stuff.
Oh, that was really funny. The boss was the guy I didn't expect to enjoy as much as I did. Because
Owen is great.
yeah, he's an asshole, but his insults are really, really funny, so I'm okay with it. And then there's the episode where, like, everyone's out of the office, and he's just, like, hardcore good at his job.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of dig that, because, like, the obvious thing to go would be, like, he'd be incompetent and he's just yelling, but he's not. Like, he's like, very much anime. I have trained and built my whole body around this, so I am good at it. And they just lean into that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, that just plays into, again, I think this show knows how to take its bit parts and make them something more, and make them a little bit more compelling. And some of that doesn't really happen until the later seasons, but I do think that overall that's a very solid strength of this show. I also enjoy her interacting with Washimi and Gori, the like two upper level people from the company. That's all really good, the way that she sort of develops that relationship with them. There's a lot in here that I really enjoy. I will admit, it's probably not the deepest review topic, so...
No, you're fine.
Mileage, yeah, this will be tough. But...
You're fine. One of the things... Okay, so this reminded me of a joke, so I'm going to tell you the joke first.
Yeah.
So this man walks into a doctor's office, and says he's here for an appointment, and he signs in at the desk, and they say, "Thank you, please just wait in our waiting area, we'll call you when we're ready for you." And he goes and he sits down and he finds one of those like big cube things that they have for the kids, where it's got like the little plasticky roller coaster hills and the beads that just slide around him and stuff. And he's sitting there and he's staring at it and he's like getting like visibly enraged. He's got like sweat and his face is getting all red. He's got like a vein popping out of his head. And someone comes up and is like, Sir, are you okay?" And he just picks the thing up and chucks it across the room. He says, "How the fuck am I supposed to use this abacus?" Which brings me to my point of I have no idea on any level how the fuck to use an abacus.
Yeah, me neither. I have no clue.
Like, I saw it animated here, and it's like one of those things where, like, it looks pretty fucking slick, like, in animation, just as, like, a beat by beat, but I have no fucking clue how you would use that thing. Like, it doesn't make any sense to me of how to do it.
I guess my question is, how are you going to run an accounting firm with abacus instead of a calculator?
Because he's so hardcore. He's so good at accounting, Steve. He doesn't use a calculator.
I mean, that's a fair point, actually.
I mean,
Like,
do you know enough about fucking how to use an abacus that you can like clearly say, no, you cannot account with an abacus. It's impossible.
I mean, look, my generation is the generation that was told, you need to learn how to do math. You won't have a calculator in your pocket all the time. And lo and behold, I have a calculator in my pocket all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, that's a good point.
Is it though? Is it really?
Yes, all the time. If it's not in my pocket, it is in my hand all the time.
Literally anything I could ever, like, any information I could possibly want is in my pocket at all time, and school is lying to us, so I don't know, like,
That's
when
why
we're...
spelling tests are bullshit, because, like, spell check.
Okay, but how old does Tone have to be that he was actively using an abacus when he was working here? And like
apparently the 80s. Apparently that's like what he says is he implies it's the 80s. I don't know what to tell you.
When the first calculator was
Yeah, when was the first calculator made?
I mean, before the 80s, I'll give you that.
Okay.
I feel like it's like the 60s at the latest.
He's so much of the older generation that he was, even when he was their age, he felt like he was born in the wrong generation.
Mm-hmm.
There are a couple bit parts that are just bit parts that I think are really funny.
Okay, actually, sorry, I'm gonna interrupt.
Oh, go for it.
Okay, the first calculator, and I'll give you a distinction. There's the first calculator, and then there's the first commercial calculator that you could buy and use. So the first calculator was called a Pascalide, and was invented in 1642.
Oh my god.
And then the first commercial calculator you could buy was called this is the greatest name of all time, by the way, the arithmometer, which was invented in 1820. So we've had calculators for like 200 years.
The tone is just being difficult by using an abacus for no reason. Got it.
We've
Fair enough.
literally not needed an abacus for 200 years.
Fair enough. The one bit part that makes me laugh, despite being just a bit part, is the yoga instructor who only says protein. I don't know why. That makes me laugh every time. He's great. But yeah, I mean, God, I wish I had more deep things to say about this show other than I like it and think it's good.
I don't know, man. I'm just trying to like wrap my head around how the fucking abacus like even like conceptually functions, because like, and this is the fucking rabbit hole I'm going down this episode, so strap the fucking... Okay, so it's just like a bunch of like little slidey things with like beads that you move up and down, so I guess it's more just like meant to be kind of the equivalent of having like little scratch paper to just write down random numbers you're coming up with, so as you're doing more complicated maths, you can look back and reference that number. But then at that point, why the fuck even bother with it? Why not just use a piece of scratch paper? And it just reminds me of this fucking story that I remember hearing of like a European mathematician meeting an Indian mathematician like way back in the fucking day. And the Indian mathematician, who just did everything in his head and on like parchment, was mathing circles around this guy stuck there with this fucking abacus. And I'm looking at this show where the guy's using the fucking abacus and he's running circles around people using the goddamn computer. And so I start to wonder, well, is it just because math isn't actually a real thing and it's just like this fucking like way of understanding the world that exists in our head? So like the more you take away from the math that you're doing in your head, you're actually like making yourself slightly worse at math. So like calculators are a weakness, computers are a weakness, abacuses are a weakness, and we should all just be learning to do like the most complicated mathematical equations possible in our heads using as little paper and outside things as possible.
Okay, according to Google, the way an abacus works is each column represents a different numerical value of ones, tens, hundreds, etc.
Okay.
And depending on how it's oriented, you can do different kinds of operations. But the way you do it is you count the number of pegs in a specific direction depending on what you're doing. And when you get them all there, you just count them. So you want to add 1 plus 20, you move 2 from the tens place and 1 from the ones place, and then you count the ones you move.
Okay.
Seems like a waste of time.
I don't know, maybe it just like it might like be one of those things where you just get so used to seeing what the value is, like you get used to like, you don't really count it. You're just used to knowing what 100 looks like, knowing what like 150 would look like or whatever. So it's just like a visual reference at that point. I don't know. It's fucking
It's
weird.
like a braille thing, or like after you get to a certain point, it's actually faster than reading with your eyes.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I'm gonna stick with my theory that like the only way to truly do math is to only ever do it in your head. And so I'm going to pose as the world's greatest mathematician by saying I can calculate any equation in my head, but I will never tell you the answer because I don't write anything down. I just keep all the numbers in my head at all times.
I can see that working.
Yeah, it sounds plausible, right? It's like a P.T. Barnum level scheme here.
Yeah, no, it is actually really amusing to see him go hard on that abacus, like it's fucking, like it's a shonen anime. He's just like going on it. It's actually really hilarious. Yeah, I don't know how. I feel feel like that would be really hard to translate to large accounts and stuff, but
That's what I'm saying. Like, once you get past like a certain decimal spot, that just seems unreasonable.
Pretty much.
I'm glad that
Like, actively reducing the numbers and then increasing them back when you're done, but that just seems like a waste of time.
I'm sorry that I've derailed your topic into us just discussing how to do math with an abacus. Matt?
Next history month, we're going to go over the history of calculators.
yeah, that's it. That's
Hold it
okay.
down.
To be honest, I was not sure exactly where this episode was gonna go because I'm just like, it's essentially a cartoon sitcom about office life and cute fuzzy Hello Kitty characters. I don't know how much depth we are gonna get out of this, but I need to make other people experience it for my own sick, twisted pleasure, I guess.
I'm kind of glad you did, though, because it just feels like if meme humor translated to fiction well, it would be this.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I totally get like do you just not like anything that is taking place in like an office space that you could experience in real life? Is it just you like it's not escapist enough for you to really find like an enjoyment in it, or
I don't know, maybe. I'm trying to think if there's like anything else in this vein, I guess, that tickles my fancy more. Because like, like I like 30 Rock, but that's so over the top and ridiculous, I like things that are kind of ridiculous and shit like that. And I know that The Office gets that reputation, but I just fucking I can't watch past the first 15 minutes of the first episode of that piece of shit show. I don't fucking know, man. I guess slice of life, I guess I'll be the Alfie here and say slice of life is dumb. What was the fucking tweet? How do people watch slice of life anime? What, does the fucking grocery arc just hit different or something? And that's a pretty good fucking point. So yeah, there's that.
I mean, I'm kind of halfway with you, because I don't like slice of life, but there's something about like workplace humor where it doesn't feel like slice of life to me.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think slice of life is the thing that's annoying about slice of life is like the stuff where people just want to like justify headcanons for established things. Like, oh yeah, Jason Todd is such a fucking hothead. I bet he hates grocery shopping. Let's do a comic where he grocery shops. Like, that's dumb as fuck to me.
Mm-hmm.
But like workplace humor, where it's more along the lines of like, this is an experience everyone kind of relates to on a fundamental level. It's not about the specific unique personalities in the show. It's that anyone could be this person, and that's why it's funny. And it hits for me in the same way like stand-up comedy can sometimes do, where it's just like, it's funny because the observation is accurate and no one's ever put it in those words for you before. And so like The Office really works for me because The Office is just so absurd with like how bad corporations are at just managing their people. And then you go to work for a company in a cubicle and you realize, wow, no one uses their time effectively. The Office was not a joke. It was not a satire. It was just literally how offices work. And it's hilarious that that's true now. And this show kind of falls into the same category for me, where it's like, this is not slice of life per se, it's just life. Like, slice of life Retsuko to me would be like, what does Retsuko do on her day off out of the office? What is her grocery list? What does she do when she visits her mom? Like, things that are unique to her personality, but I don't think that's what this is. I think this is more universal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I kind of feel the same. Like, I feel like any millennial who's ever gone through a period of just not knowing what the fuck and being stuck in a job that they kind of hate, I feel like anyone can kind of relate to Retsuko, and that's why this show, like I said, it just hits for me on a slightly, I guess, deeper level. I don't want to say deeper level. It just hits for me on a more emotional level because I've absolutely been Retsuko before in my life, and I may be again. That's just, and so I really, I don't know. Maybe it's just some people would rather not relive that feeling and would rather just not be reminded of it at all, whereas I just sort of relish in seeing someone else go through it and managing to come out of it more or less okay. And I enjoy it on that level, and I also just think most of the comedy hits for me, which is going to be a big factor in whether or not you like it.
It makes me feel like I'm not crazy, if that makes sense. Like, apparently, it's not just me who hates office jobs and thinks everything is inefficient and is bored out of my mind and doesn't know what I'm going to do with the rest of my life. Apparently that's everyone, and that's why these things are so comforting to me. Because it's like, okay, actually I'm normal. I am right on schedule.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly that. And so, I don't know. This definitely hits for me on that level, and I'm sure it's not the first sitcom to do that, but I do really enjoy that about it. But if the humor and the art style and the workplace comedy of it doesn't hit for you, then it's probably not going to be something you'll enjoy, because I don't think it's good or compelling enough to win someone over who's just not really going to be into this sort of thing, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that's kind of what I felt about it. Is like I could kind of instantly tell what people are gonna like. Like some of the animation and some of the jokes worked for me. Like I really liked the intro where she's doing like this very cute, very like Hello Kitty looking dance, but then like she just tilts her head the one direction and it would like jitter in time with I think the guitar or the drums or something like that. I really quite enjoyed that. That was fun.
I also like that the metal sounds like actual metal, which is something that DC couldn't even figure out for their fucking death metal playlists that they put out. So that was nice.
Waste of flesh.
Did you listen to it in Japanese, Matt?
Oh, I have not listened to it in Japanese.
It's so good in Japanese.
Is it?
The English metal is good, but the Japanese is so fucking good.
It's funny because, like, when you get later in the season and other characters start getting little songs, they're all just bad and hokey, and they just sound like normal people trying to do karaoke, and it gives them, to me, so much fucking charm. Like, it just, I love it. It makes it feel so adorable. The song she has with Risasuke in, like, the last, like, I forget what episode it is, but when, like, they're having their, like, romance song, and he's like, "You're the girl who barfed, who does accounting." Like, oh, it's so fucking good. It's so cute. That's it. That's all I got. It's cute. It's adorable. It's adorable and it's hilarious. And I love the lambasting of. I really love any lambasting of corporate culture. So I'm into it on all those levels for sure.
I feel like as a culture, we started with Office Space and just progressively made it weirder and weirder until we arrived at this, and I think this should be its final form.
So we're just done. We're just done with like workplace comedies now. We've perfected it.
It'll never be this distilled, right? Like I feel like this is the pinnacle of millennial nihilism towards our jobs.
It only gets worse as the show goes on. Like the nihilism only increases.
Oh no, absolutely. It's great because it's cute cat people in anime style screaming death metal about how much their job sucks. Like, what is more our generation than that?
Yeah.
Like, how could it get any better from this?
I don't know where it would go. I mean, yeah. I feel like you're onto something there. I feel like this does sort of hit every beat that you would see in something like The Office, but it does it in such an over the top and such like a, I think the making it an anime, making it this super hyper cutesy thing, it emphasizes all of those things in such a really great way. That, yeah, I'm not really sure what another show would do better than this. As far
right,
as
because like you look at Office Space, and it's funny, but going back to it, it's almost too plotty after a certain point. Like there's too much of like a weird situation that isn't relatable. That's just distracting from the actual relatable bits from it. Like
the comedy's too ahead of its time, and so it kind of like goes out of its way to be like a regular movie too hard.
Yeah, exactly. Like it knows it's onto something, but it knows it can't sell it on just that. So it throws a plot in that you don't actually need. And then you get to The Office, and The Office is like on the cusp of or right in the heyday of cringe humor. And so it's got all of the awkward staring into the camera and faces and stuff, but it's still a sitcom. So it's still got the mid 2000s thing where it's just obsessed with the will they won't they relationship. And it works. It's funny, but it has to move at like a sitcom pace on certain points, which is why some episodes are better than others, because some of them are just corporate shenanigans, which are hilarious, and other ones are like more traditional sitcom episodes, and those are the ones no one remembers. And then you get here to Retsuko, and this is just an anime plot. It's an anime plot, and it takes place in an office, and it's in an anime style, and it's got the death metal karaoke. They never deviate from the gimmick. Like, they give the characters depth and story and stuff later, but it's all based on the gimmick. They're not trying to play to what's popular now. It's just the gimmick. It's this formula distilled down to its perfect form.
This isn't even my final form.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's funny. It's hard to resist talking about more of the show because like season 3, for example, like she becomes sort of like an she becomes like internet famous, and it's like that's also a very fucking millennial thing, is fucking relating to all these online media personalities and things like that, and it goes to a fucking dark place in season 3, and so like it hits on all these other parts of being a millennial. Season 2 hits on a few of these things as well, and like I just feel like every season manages to find a way to connect to some part of that experience. Season 4 is like mostly about Haida, and the arc he goes through in season 4 is like so fucking like hits so hard for me that I almost teared up at the very end of season 4 because of the way that it bookends that season. So like, I don't know, for me this show has just hit on every level it could possibly hit. I would encourage anyone who, like I said, is kind of into it to give the rest of the seasons a watch, because they only get better, like, for sure.
Yeah, 100%. I think it's really, really good, and it does get better with age. Season 4 was basically perfect, in my opinion.
Yeah, season 4 is phenomenal. But yeah, this doesn't shy away from traditional sitcom trappings. I mean, like, Retsuko and Haida are obviously set up as the, like, will they, won't they of the show. So like it is.
Oh, so they
definitely,
don't get back together? Or what the fuck happens? The drama. You can't just like fucking lay that bomb on me, man. The fuck is wrong with you?
I said they won't they of the show. That's every sitcom has a will they won't they.
Yeah, but like the fucking season 1 ends with like a very clear they will.
Oh, with Haida.
Will they, won't they?
Yeah, I mean that happens. Yeah, I mean fucking you think Ross and Rachel are gonna get together like 3 times before it actually happens.
They almost get married like twice.
They do. It's sad because Rachel can do better. But anyways,
And
but yeah,
be better than Ross.
yeah, I will say if you like sitcoms, if you're a sitcom nerd, this might also help, because I definitely do love sitcoms, and
Same.
yeah, if you don't like sitcoms, this is probably not going to change your mind.
If
Yeah,
you
you
ever
like anime,
change
you
your
like
mind.
sitcom, you like metal music, I feel like this is for you.
Yeah, I'll have to check it out in Japanese because I have not heard the like metal karaoke in Japanese. I'll have to check it out.
It's really funny. Oh, I will say one other thing. So my stance on the dub versus sub thing is a cop out, because I will watch it dubbed with the subtitles on, and the best thing about that is that every corporation who distributes anime is too lazy to closed caption the dub, so they just throw in the subtitles for the Japanese while you're watching it in the dub. So if you want like a real time, like what's the difference between the dub and the sub, just do it that way. So you'll get all of the subtitles for the Japanese dialogue while you're listening to the English dialogue, and you can like check it in real time to be like, what's the difference? And Retsuko's pretty accurate, honestly. There's like one episode where someone says something that is like completely different, but they arrive at the same conclusion by the end, and that's a little odd. But just as far as like dubbing versus subbing, like they don't change much. They like rearrange some of the sentences, but the meaning is all still there.
God, I wish I had done that for my recent rewatch of G Gundam, where they're clearly dancing around saying the word "kill." It's hilarious.
Oh my god, that show is so good.
Or they'll have a title card that mentions God or Devil Gundam. Like, it'll say it in the title card and in the subtitle of the title card, but, like, Domon's voice actor will be like, Rise of the Dark Gundam! And I'm like, it clearly says Devil Gundam, man. Like, it's right there on the fucking screen.
I love that every episode opens with him screaming the title at you.
Oh, yeah. No, it's great.
It's fantastic.
Now I'm gonna need to make us review all 49 episodes of G Gundam.
Bro, let's go. I will do it. I will watch it all tonight and review it next week.
Don't threaten me with a good time.
You can't tease me like that and not pick G Gundam.
All right, Steve, favorite Aggretsuko character and then favorite G Gundam fighter, and we'll see what that tells us about you.
Oh god, that's interesting. I think I already said my favorite.
Feneko, right?
Yeah. I really like her.
Totally fair. She's great. I love Feneko a lot. She's really funny. Her social media sleuthing makes me lose it every time.
And she's got like that sort of like twisted Sherlock Holmes vibe where like she's using her social media savvy and explaining it to you like she's fucking Holmes. It's fantastic.
Mm-hmm. I love it.
As far as favorite G Gundam fighter, that's tricky because I like a lot of them. I think is it Chinese? I don't remember the country they're supposed to be from.
That's okay. I just watched it. I can tell you.
The brothers who pilot the Gundam together, those are really cool, and I really like as a design and as a fight the Zeus Gundam.
Fucking Zeus Gundam.
That thing is so fucking cool.
That's fair. I was going more for Shuffle Alliance members, but I will accept that.
Okay, fair enough. The British one. What's that one's name?
The British guy's he's not in the Shuffle Alliance, bro.
Oh, he's not? God
He's
damn.
a bad guy!
He is! It's been so long since I've seen this show, I don't fucking know.
Anyways, sorry, tangent.
Is G Gundam the one with like the fucking G cells and like the planet and it's like a tournament and shit?
Yeah, the
Okay,
Dark
that's-
Gundam cells.
That's the one I remember. That's the
Wait,
one I watched.
The one where it just felt like the Gundam creators saw Dragon Ball and were just like, we want to do that.
I don't really. I did not think it felt like Dragon Ball, but I guess I'm.
You literally go super and turn gold for no reason, and the whole thing.
Matt, you're acting like I remember more than like five
that's
details about the entire show that I
that's
caught
fair.
intermittent episodes of when it was on Toonami or Adult Swim. Like I don't even remember which it broadcast on. So fucking like get out of here with your $20 haircut and your fucking attitude and your fucking cutesy but like nihilistic red panda anime girl show and your fucking life, man.
Joke's on you. I'm bald. I haven't paid for a haircut in years.
Yeah.
Wow. That, which of Domon Kashu's two Gundams do you prefer, the first one or the second one?
Fuck. I kind of gotta go with Shining over Burning. I love them.
So?
I love them both. Burning is definitely probably the most objectively. It's probably the better design. But I had a toy of Shining Gundam, and I had a toy of Saishaishi's Dragon Gundam, and I had a toy of George's fucking dueling Gundam Rose. So those are my three favorite Gundams. So I got to go with Shining Gundam. I love it.
That's fair. Also, the fact that his signature move is to finger you is the greatest thing ever.
Oh yeah, Shining Finger and Burning. I think. So I'm like watching this with my wife, and he's like, he gets his right hand immobilized, and then he's like, but I can still do this, and his opponent is like, Burning Finger with the other hand, and my wife, like Carly, lost it. It was hilarious.
He's doing.
Oh good. Oh.
Okay, never mind. I am gonna actually sit down and watch all this show again.
Oh, best show. Burning Finger with the other.
He has two hands.
Best show.
The most animation I've ever heard.
It's so funny.
His master is also cool as fuck. I forgot about him.
Master Asia,
With
undefeated
the
of the
fucking
East.
black Gundam with the wings.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
That
the
shit
Master
ruled.
Gundam. Yeah.
Is the master the one who's like, I never took the G cells.
Yeah.
I wanted you to know that.
Yep. He like as he's
So like
he-
you just chose to be evil then, like a dick.
He's got like a whole sympathetic motivation, and then he pulls his shirt off. Like he's like, "There's something I want you to know," and he like rips his shirt off, and he's like, "I never had any DG cells on me." it's really funny. The whole show is just mildly absurd, and well, not mildly absurd. It's completely absurd and just hilarious the entire time. It's great.
Man, I really wish we were talking about Gundam instead of this fucking piece of shit show that you guys like because you have shit taste.
Yeah. That's
Steve really said Spider-Man No Way Home is a shit movie. Now this fucking anime show with the goddamn red panda that screams metal music. Now that's quality content that's worth binging.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
correct. That's
exactly.
Everything about that is correct.
I see nothing wrong with that statement.
Yeah, that's all there. That's all that checks out.
Oh man.
Anyways, no, I mean, that's. I gotta stop picking fucking comedies. Aggretsuko is a lot of fun.
I mean, it's fine to talk about comedies. I don't mind doing it. It's just I prefer if you pick a comedy that's actually funny.
Ah,
I mean, to be fair though, if the last year of Geeky Gentleman has taught us anything, it's that Ian's the only one here without taste.
or alternatively, the only one with taste.
Yep.
How many back-to-back episodes was it, Ian, where you just did not agree with the rest of us?
Well, no, it's not that I didn't agree with the rest of you. It's that, like, you guys just kept not liking anything I chose. And I was like, oh, motherfucker.
True.
I think the one that hurt the most was 6. Because, like, I legitimately enjoyed the fuck out of that. Like, that one I was like, oh, man, this is so... Like, I got really that, like, oh, man, I'm really, really excited to talk with someone about this. And then it's just fucking... Everyone hated it.
I mean, I was kind of with you on Jesus Christ Superstar. That was fine.
I
Yeah.
liked Jesus Christ Superstar.
Yeah, that was fine.
Yeah,
I'd
that's
watch
good.
it again.
I tell you,
That's
that's why I've been so nervous for us to, because like I'm in the back of my mind, I'm just like, we're gonna review Scott Pilgrim Volume 1. That's happening because I love those books, and I'm just like, I'm scared. What if everyone hates
yeah.
them?
Oh, I mean, I'm 100% going to invite Aaron on for that episode. Just because
Not like Scott Pilgrim?
I'm pretty sure, if I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure I've seen Aaron literally just, like, shit talk anyone that likes Scott Pilgrim. Just, like, on premise alone, as Scott Pilgrim's, like, a fucking red flag for her.
That's
kind of the point of the story.
yeah, that's like the whole point is that Scott's a dick and he has to learn why he's a dick. Like that's
Yeah, but, like, that's the thing is people idolize him for the wrong reasons.
okay. I guess.
He gets to be put in that, like, fucking starter pack of the fucking, like, Tyler Durden and like Heath Ledger's Joker.
Oh yeah, I guess I could see that. I guess people who like Scott Pilgrim but have no idea what it's trying to say. I
Yeah.
guess I could see that. Yeah, for sure.
This is what the Marvel Cinematic Universe does to you. It makes everyone illiterate.
Oh no.
Oof.
It's the Marvel Cinematic Universe's fault now, huh?
It is. It's
Man,
the Marvel
it's-
Cinematic Universe's fault that people are illiterate.
Man, if only there was like some kind of YouTuber that could maybe make video essays explaining the Marvel Cinematic Universe and like everything about it and like what it does right, what it does wrong, and maybe stuff like, I don't know, Civil War, Tragedy and Structure, or perhaps Age of Ultron and analysis.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up, because if you would like me to do that, you can pay $5 on my Patreon to read about me doing that on a weekly basis.
Wait, did the Ultron video get taken down?
I made it unlisted because it's 2.5 hours long, and I kept getting fucking comments from people. Is this the movie? And it's not.
LOL.
You unlisted a video with millions of views because you were
It's
annoyed
still
by the
getting
comments.
views, bro. It's insane. It's like people save the link.
I hate everything about you, Steve. You're the worst kind of person.
But like,
Steve,
imagine
never,
having a video with-
never come back to my house again, because you will wait. Like, I'll pretend like we're all happy and cool. I'll like hug you at the airport and stuff, and we'll hang out. We'll have fun talking. And then when you go to sleep, I'll fucking appear above your bed with just a fucking pillow, and I'll hold it down over your face until you die.
Jokes on you, Ian. I'm into that. Also, it's got 7.6 million views.
Steve,
my
I swear to
God.
God, fucking remake that video public right goddamn now, you fucking idiot.
Yeah.
Do it. Do it now, or I'm going to just ride you like a fucking rodeo clown into the sunset over this stupid fucking decision that you've made. Turn off the comments, you dumbass.
There you go.
Jesus. Oh, my 7 million view video had just way too many comments. It was annoying. I could
was annoying. Are
I
you
could
kidding?
kill him. I could kill him.
Yeah, just disable comments, man.
Jesus Christ, Steve.
What comments are you? What insightful comments would you have gotten on a video with that many views, anyways? At that point,
I mean, you're not wrong, but still.
I hate you, Steve. I hate you so much.
the rage.
Every single Geekvolution commenter was right.
You're gonna need to. Do you need to go to a karaoke room and scream about it to death metal beats?
Oh my god. I just.
Wait, let me pull up the video on my phone real quick and see what's the last comment I've got here.
I can't see any I can't even see the video right now. You said you made it public. You fucking.
I just made it public and I just turned off the comments. So
Okay.
It should show up on your feed in a minute or so.
Yeah. You'd think, but I'm on the videos thing
Did you
and
refresh?
yeah. No.
Oh, man.
Oh, well, we'll see. Give it a little bit. Maybe it's got to
Yeah,
go
but-
through review or something.
It is restricted though.
Hmm.
Maybe that's the reason. I don't know. Who cares?
Oh well, fair enough. If it's not able to be watched because of copyright, that's a completely different thing. But I swear to God,
It's only 7.6 million views and 12,000 likes. Like it's not a big deal.
it's not a big deal. It's fine. Fucking goddamn
Normal
it,
thing.
Steve. I hate you. The worst kind of person. Anyway, do we have anything else to talk about with this fucking show?
It's cute and I like it.
Dude, I like it.
I like the girl boss walk.
Oh yeah.
That's a good animation cycle. They get some good quality out of reusing an animation like 17 times. So that was pretty good. I got a little offended that the gorilla lady was also coded as black.
I hadn't really thought about that, but you're not wrong.
So that was certainly a choice. Was this animated in Japan or no? Because Netflix does this a lot, where there'll be like a Netflix original series, and a lot of the streaming sites will do this a lot. They'll call it an original series, but really they're just buying the exclusive rights to broadcast it in the West. So was this like a thing made for Netflix, or just do you know anything about that?
It was made by a Japanese animation studio called Fanworks.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds about right. They do some shit like code a gorilla as black. That is 100% something the Japanese would do.
Yeah, I don't know what else they've. I don't know that that's I don't know that that would be a good rabbit hole to go down, because I was looking at like what else has Fanworks done, but I'm not seeing anything that's known or anything. So
It just reminds me of the fucking video of like the guy who was doing, like prank videos. And he came up behind a lady with like a mask on and tried to scare her, and she just like smiled at him. and then he took the mask off, and he's a black guy, and that freaked her out, and she like ran away. And just the look on this guy's face of like, fucking really? Not the joke he was hoping for. So much funnier. So fucking just the casual racism that exists in Japan is something I find incredibly fascinating. All right, I think that's a good place to leave things. Like really, when you get right down to it. Ratings. I'll give this show like 2.5 out of 10 karaoke bars that aren't like the kind I think they are.
Yeah, they're Japanese karaoke. They do it differently down there.
Nah, they do it wrong, you mean?
Dude, they do it way better. You can fucking rent a karaoke room for you and your friends and get food brought to you. There's a place here in fucking Dayton that does that, and it's awesome. It's the best way.
You can do fucking karaoke battles with your coworkers?
It's the best. They do karaoke right. That's what I'm gonna say. Okay, fair enough. I will give it. You know what? Fuck it. I'm not doing this. I'm gonna give it a 5 out of 5. Yeah, I'm gonna give it 5 out of 5. Fucking girl boss walks. I love this show. I think it's really fun. It absolutely nails everything it's trying to do and be, and then some. So I fucking love it. It's great.
I will also give it 5 out of 5 pathetic archive rube lunches. Because that's just kind of sad, but also kind of relatable, not gonna lie.
I'm just eating mayo and bread for me.
Yeah, no, it's great. It hits all the right notes. It's super relatable. It's really, really cute. And like when it just comes down to it, it makes me very happy to like watch this panda woman go through the patheticness of life in very devastating ways, but also sing death metal karaoke.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Okay, well, let's see here. So, Steve, me, Alfie, Matt. We're back to you, Steve. We need a discussion topic, or since last time you did pick a discussion topic, if you'd like to change it to a review, it's up to you. You have a free space, sir.
Is the next one in February, or would we still be in January next Sunday?
So this one's going up on the 23rd. The next one's still in January.
Yeah.
It's still in January. Okay. I was just curious because if it was closer to February, I would have picked like a rom-com or something for Valentine's Day. But okay. Since Matt and I have been talking about classic movies and like wanting to watch more of the films to come out throughout history. Maybe we should review one of those, like something that's like straight up just classic, greatest movie ever made kind of movie, and see if it holds up in that way. So let's talk about
sex, baby. Let's talk about you and me.
I'm just looking through my list of ones that I know I need to see, so I can make it as an excuse to watch it. Actually, no. Let's talk about a movie that actually just came out this year, so it's more timely, and people will actually have like a chance to talk about it, and it'll probably draw the views a bit. Let's talk about The Matrix Resurrections.
Yes!
Still? Did that get taken off HBO Max already, or is it still up there? I
think this is like the last week it's gonna be on there.
Okay, so I gotta watch it before Friday then.
Steve! I'm gonna talk about The Matrix for hours, man. Yeah.
Oh my God. I could talk about this Matrix movie for like the rest of my life. It's so exciting. Okay.
I'm gonna binge watch all 4 of them again. For a third time.
God, no. I'm 100% not doing that. 100% not doing that. The Matrix is so much better once you realize it's a trans allegory. I mean, it's much clearer. Better is a bit of a stretch, but sure.
This is gonna be a fun episode. Oh, I'm so excited. Yes! I love The Matrix. I love all of it. I love all The Matrix. I can't wait. Yes.
I like how watch films, and I'm also just like, no, let's just watch the fucking Matrix Resurrections. Which
Steve,
is
Steve, I believe our conversation was how much film school turned me off of films, so I have no desire to watch more of them.
I was gonna pick Taxi Driver. But
We've
now-
actually already done Taxi Driver on Geeky
Oh,
Gentleman.
well,
I wouldn't mind revisiting it. I
think it
don't
actually-
mind revisiting things. I'm just gonna let you know we have actually done that already. It was one of those ones where, like, again, you're idolizing the wrong character. Where Milan was on there, he's like, at least it has a happy ending, and the guy kills the perverts. That's not what that ending meant.
For context sake, the last day it'll be on HBO, or sorry, the day it leaves HBO is the 21st.
Okay, so yeah, I have to watch it before Friday. Fair enough. As long as it's there, because you fucking did that to me with Malignant, where like the day I went to watch it, it had gone off the day before.
Oh, that's funny. Ended up paying for it.
Yeah, no, I ended up fucking going to some shady ass websites and probably getting viruses on my computer.
Yeah, that's fine. Everyone
Yeah.
can use a few more viruses.
Yeah, you know. All right. Well, that'll do it. Until next time, everyone. I'm the Philosopher.
I'm the Hello Kitty erotica lover.
There's definitely Hello Kitty Rule 34 art.
I'm sure.
Steve.
Not touching that one.
Steve.
Yes.
Sign out.
Okay, I gotta log out of my computer. Alright,
No.
I'm Steve. Bye.
And we are your Geeky Gentlemen, and we will be discussing things. Uh,